Yes, I'm here now with Paolo Gesess. So you're an Italian venture capitalist. You have 20 years of experience, but just let our viewers get to know you a little bit better. So who is the person, Paolo Gesess?
So I started this venture capital activity back in 1998, working for Telecom Italia in the e-business activity, and I raised my first fund in 1999, just after 1 year of experience in the big corporate venture. We moved out, we started the new fund. We were lucky, we have been through the internet bubble of the 2000 and 2001. We went out with a top quartile fund with 23% of the ARR investors. So we raised a new fund back in 2007, and this is but still a small fund dedicated to the Italian ecosystem. Then back in 2010 I met Massimiliano Magrini, former CEO of Google for Southern Europe, and together we decided to try to build a European scale venture fund. And so United Ventures, it's the union between my activity in Jupiter Venture and Massimiliano expertise, and we just finalized United Venture 1 with a 70 million capitalization. And with this fund we want to help Italian entrepreneurs in Italy, but also smart Italian all over the world to do their startup and to grow internationally. So we want to help Italian entrepreneurs to scale, and so we want to give them not just the first money, but also the A round and B round, and be there with them. And so that's what we have done in the last 3 years. Today, United Venture has 14 portfolio companies. 2 of those portfolio companies now are out in California, one in LA, the other one in San Francisco. 3 of those are in UK. So starting from Italian entrepreneur from Italy, and now it's half of the portfolio. It's already at, let's say, at an international scale. So that's our goal. That's what we are doing, and we are pretty satisfied so far.
Okay, so most people just looking at Italian venture capital just don't know that already in 1999 there were funds around. I think the only people really on the radar have been Piol.
And Serino Piol,
very famous one, and then of course it was the Tory. So you feel, or you see yourself like continuing this legacy, or you are trying to change it also a bit?
Well, in the last 5 years there's been a lot of activity in the venture capital scene in Italy. There have been some government move in order to facilitate the startup environments. New funds were raised, but still, in order to build an ecosystem, it takes time, because in order to do a good venture capital activity, you need to raise, to manage a fund for 10 years. So we will have probably successful venture capitalists in 4 or 5 years from now, because we need to see what's all the others new venture capital are going to perform in the future. Definitely there is a gap compared to UK or Germany or France, and we try to fill that gap.
Okay, so summarizing the facts, you already named almost all of them. You raised the fund at 70 million, yes. You're already investing, you have 14 companies, mostly Italian founders. So yes. It's just a location that is in UK, US. But
well, they started in Italy, and through our investment, they moved the company in London. In the fintech, we have Money Farm, which was we invested back in 2000 and was the first investment with United Venture. And after 3 years, they are of course leader in Italy, but they are moved to UK and they are launching in UK. They want to become number 1 in Europe. So the saving market in Italy is big, but it's even bigger in UK. They're gonna partner with some other for being in Germany or in Spain, we'll see. So they're doing very well.
And you're you're investing in all rounds, so you're doing seed, Series A, Series B, or you have one focus?
We try to be there at the A round. We don't want to. I mean, the seed investment it's a different kind of legacy you have to have with entrepreneurs. You have to be there more often. And so we want to be there for the A round and the B round. There are a lot of seed activity made by angel, by seed specialized funds. We do some seed investment. It's not our spot. We want to be there for A round and then B round.
And well, a lot of people now realize that something is going on in Italy. So I know that also Early Bird is following the Italian market very closely. So what do the entrepreneurs get from you? What is your, I think, distinctive feature?
Well, I think like every other VC, what you can really give to those companies, beside the money, of course, it's your experience, and so it's very important to show them that you are able to be with them from the A round to the European scale. Some networking for European market. We don't want to invest in companies that just become national champions.
So they have to be European champions.
Yes.
Champions as well.
And Europe is not the same kind of market, so we need to have also in Germany. It would be great to be a co-investment with Early Bird or other.
I mean, you already mentioned Europe, and I'm simply picking up a Peter Thiel thesis, who is saying already about American VC and an American innovation, that actually there is no innovation. So we dreamt of space shuttles for everybody. We dreamt in the 50s and 60s about a lot of technology, and in the end we got Twitter, 140 characters.
Yes.
Would you confirm it? And looking at the ecosystem and the development, can we say that the European ecosystem is still copying only at the moment? Or are we actually really innovating?
Well, I think that we have both. I think we have a great opportunity in copy, successful new business model in different countries, and there's nothing bad about doing those kind of activity on one side. But on the other side, I think it's very important to go and search for innovation that comes through startups based in Naples or in Berlin or in everywhere, in every little city. So today here we have seen more than 1,000 people that want to, well, not all of them, but few of them want to really innovate. So it's true. So it's we need to search for innovation, and those kind of innovation is going to be the big thing in the future.
Wait, what a lot of people forget with all the let's say bad news also about Italy within the Euro crisis is that Italy has a very long and very rich history of innovation. Very great people, very great inventors, just to name Tesla or some others. What is a particular Italian innovation fit to scale to European or global markets at the moment? Something that gets you excited?
Well, I think in the fintech we have a particularly big saving markets. So that was the idea. So it's the biggest market in terms of saving. The Italian family has a lot of money. Even the country doesn't have the money, but the Italian family has the money. So that's the idea of innovating in that field was coming in Italy because of that kind of environment. So in the fintech we do a lot of in payment system. We have some of the small bank with very big market share in the payment system all over Europe. So in that field we are looking at some very good innovation. On the other side, we have also like mechatronica.
Okay.
So a lot of companies that are working in that space were are typical of industrial areas like northern Italy or like Germany. We as United Venture, we don't invest in that, but from there, I'm sure it's going to come a lot of innovation.
Okay. So actually, you with your answer, you gave part of my next question, but you already said it. Why don't you invest in them? Is it simply because their business model is not fit for VC? They would need another type of investment vehicle that would be good for Europe? Or is it simply they don't have the expertise? Or
Yeah, so I'm going back to your previous question, what the VC can really do, and give to those startups. Beside the money, you need to have the expertise. If you don't have any expertise, I mean, it's very hard to build a successful venture fund. So I simply have, in the e-commerce and digital consumer internet field since 1999, and I'm pretty comfortable in that area. Much less in other technology that I don't manage and I don't know.
So one of your focus is on fintech,
Yes.
and I read prior to the interview from, I think you or one of your colleagues, another focus is on software, Italian
Yes.
software. So what's happening there? I would guess, just from experience, that we should see a lot of great mobile companies there as is the number one device in Italy.
Yes, in the mobile and in the enterprise software, you can find good company everywhere. The point is how to to spot those company and how to have them just get out of the crowd and
Yeah.
So that's one of our goals, and we are pretty proud to have found this company in Pisa, which is a small city famous for the tower, but not for the technology. And they have a great university there, and so we have spot this company. We have the company just flip in a US-based company and go and having the technology developed in Italy and a go-to-market in the US, and they are performing very well. Now we have a US co-investor pushing the company in a big up round. So that's the goal.
Another software topic that is really hot in your eyes in Italy at the moment?
Well,
something in SaaS maybe?
Yes. Let's say that we are going back to the copycat kind of business. I mean, we've seen and we are looking at companies that are trying to do, improve like Salesforce integration or some ERP, kind of development. It's very difficult to measure the environment. I mean, how to say I don't have the name in English. Sorry.
In Italiano?
La concorrenza.
The competition.
Yeah, the competition. Sorry.
No problem.
The competition in because in software you can have competition from everywhere, so it's very difficult to have a wide analytics of that.
But you can have a lot of local monopolies in software too.
Well, yes, but it's not so interesting for a venture fund to invest in a local monopoly, because at the end, that's it. And you go from 1 to 10, but then we want to go from 10 to 100. And that is the part of, where you have to deal with all the competition from all over the world.
I mean, since you mentioned Pisa, and I know that Italians are very proud of the region, the city they're coming from. So what would you say? Where would you look at? Is this more Torino, or maybe more in the south where maybe the people just have more entrepreneurial spirit to change things?
Well, Italy is definitely a very different country, region from region, but at the end you find expertise in certain field because of some good university or because of some good corporate. So we have in Sardinia, after the successful of Tiscali, I mean, there are a lot of web companies growing over there. There is a great environment for digital investment there, since they are in an island, and so they need to do digital stuff. They cannot be very good in some hardware or stuff that needs to be moved. So that's just an example. We have in Torino a great Politecnico and the research center of Fiat and Telecom are there. So in Naples they have a great university in technology. So you need to go around And from my personal point of view, that the only place where it's very difficult to find a great entrepreneurs and technologists is in Rome, because Rome is kind of like, it's Rome.
So there
but
you find more politicians.
Yeah, too many politicians.
And writers.
And writers.
Journalists. Okay.
But also the Trentino University of Trentino.
Trento Rise.
Trento Rise.
Naming Trento Rise, are these initiatives where they try to jumpstart an ecosystem around the city? In your point of view, are they helpful for the VC, or is it a kind of counterproductive because they want to have equity too with their programs and they might?
It is controversial. There are. I think that public money in general, it's good to start the company, but then it's not good if it stay there because the entrepreneur can get used to public money and doesn't have the private pressure of doing profit sooner or later.
Yeah.
And so even in Sardinia they have a lot of grants, but they use the grants, and then after 1 year they need to give back those money and try to. So it depends who manages those public money. Depends on how if they just want to attract startups there, but then leave it there. This is not good. They need to attract it and say 6 months, or you perform or you're out. That's the way they should do it.
Okay. We talked a lot about technology in Italy. What is about the entrepreneurial talent? So, do we have founders that exit and now do a second startup?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We do have serial entrepreneurs. We have a lot of. Italy, it is the land of small and
medium-sized companies.
And so we have a lot of entrepreneurs that want to do their own company. There is the entrepreneurial spirit. There is not the idea of selling the company and then doing another one. So it's very difficult for us just to have a drag along clause in the term sheet, because they said no, I want to build this company and then
pass it
we'll
on
see
to the family.
So we have entrepreneurs from one side. We don't have venture capital culture from the other side. So we need to mix the two things.
What is the key thing the Italian ecosystem has to improve?
I think we in the venture capital ecosystem.
Okay, in the venture capital ecosystem.
I think we need to just be more money, more investor, more competition. Because at the end, compared to France or even Spain, and let's talk about don't talk about UK. There's not so much money invested every year. So, and there are a lot of young entrepreneurs that want to. We receive more than 1,000 projects every year.
Okay, so this is a great improvement of deal flow compared to prior. So summarizing, the money is there in Italy. It can get better. The talent is there. The innovation is there. So with that,
that's why
with that you feel quite confident looking at this Berlin hype or maybe London hype.
Well,
because you have 20 years experience, different countries.
I think there always has been some hype somewhere and somehow. It's very important to don't stay just close in your country or in your city or with your investor. It's very important to try to use those hype. Okay. And so let's go to Berlin and see if we can raise some more money and then move to London. It's very important for those companies to grow.
It's more cooperative approach, so you also send companies to other places, as you already explained.
Yeah, I think that companies just are born in Italy and stay in Italy. This is not good.
Would you? I know that there are a lot of very talented Italians all around the world doing startups at the moment. I always get pitches here from UK or Germany, and then they say, "Oh, everybody are from Italy." So, would you recommend them coming back because something is changing?
No, I think they don't have to come back. They need just to find investor. It could be. So I like to say that United Venture is an international fund based in Milano, but it's an international. Okay. So we're looking around deal flow from smart Italian, wherever they are, and also other non-Italian. But that's the point. I don't think we need to make it down to a geographical We need to have we need to invest in international company with international people.
No, I think there's a really interesting approach of being international, because unfortunately in Europe we still have sometimes the silo
a lot
thinking.
of national and even local. Like even in Germany, Berlin is not Munich.
Exactly.
And
there's a big fight going on. Where is leader? And,
so I have good friends in venture capital in Munich and in Berlin, and they kind of like.
I mean, in this interview, we focused also quite a lot of VC and how you approach VC. We all know good stories have an end, so the cycle somehow might turn sooner or later. Probably we are a bit in the later stage now. What do you think is technology that is going to stay beyond the cycle?
I think I don't know if it's right to talk about technology. I think what is going to stay, is what is really changing is going to be is the sharing economy.
Okay.
So, I'm investing in consumer internet, and I think the sharing economy, the concept of sharing things, to have the access of things. We don't need to possess anything. We need to have access. So this is now it's very clear with cars, but it's going to be for a lot with finance. So also, in the fintech, it's we need to have access to smart asset manager. We don't need to have the account there, but we need to have the access. So this is what really is going to change in the next 10 years. People will really impact the world with the sharing economy.
Okay. Last question. If you're not thinking about your investments, and when you're not thinking about VC, what keeps you up at night?
Well, I have 3 kids.
Okay.
My older is in United States doing an exchange student now, so I often think about him, how he's dealing with his experience there. And then I have a very little one that is just growing and learning. I'm thinking, is going to be an Italian or is going to be an international girl? So I want her to be based in Italy but international. So this is very important. To share the cultures, to be citizen of the world. That's what I would like. So it's one of my belief in business, but it's also one of my belief in life, in general life.
Okay, perfect. I may simply say, Paolo, thank you very much for this very interesting interview and your time. And
thank you.
Have a great time here at Web Summit.
Thank you.
Thank you.